Okay guys, it's time to talk about the third episode of She-Hulk, where the primary spotlight of the plot goes all in on the People versus Emil Blonsky, aka the Abomination. So the third episode of She-Hulk has two plots, which the show makes sure you know because they end up connecting at the end. But speaking of connecting, if you guys want to connect with us, the third episode audio commentary will be out, and we have a lot to talk about in regards to the Abomination. So check out the members section. But now let's get back to the review. A plot is Abomination and Jen defending him and trying to come up with a case for why exactly he should be released. And her whole case hinges on Wong, the Sorcerer Supreme, showing up and defending him and explaining why exactly he had Emil come to a fighting tournament, which he calls the Kumite, a reference to, well, old movie and the story of Frank Dukes. But that's not important here. What's important is that he reveals that he busted out the Abomination because he needed to test the strength of one of the strongest people on Earth, because he needs to, as well, he's the Sorcerer Supreme and he's always got to be ready. Now at the same time, the B plot involves Megan Thee Stallion being impersonated by an Asgardian elf, and that plot isn't as important here, so we're not really going to focus on it much. But what's important is that it shows off how Jen is always willing to see the best in somebody, and also she's not stupid enough to not see the worst, and how self-absorbed somebody can be. And in my opinion, the two plots come together very well. Now, focusing back on Emil's story, what I like about this is that there's a moment in this where he reveals that he's in control of Abomination, which many of the people there that are more or less already convinced that he's not going to go free is highlighted here in regards to his self-control, what he's able to pull off, and the fact that he's not just this mindless monster who's out for blood and, thirsty to do damage, which I really appreciated that this was an element of the episode and that they really focused on it in terms of character development, because to me, it's very important that they do, talk about things like that, because why wouldn't you in this show that has to focus on the law, right? Especially dealing with somebody like Emil, who the last time we saw him, let's be real, he was rampaging through New York, destroying everything. And this definitely goes off the back of what we had before in terms of the story that they're trying to tell with how you can get reformed, and how She-Hulk at the center of it draws more attention to your entire case and everything like that. Especially for the fact that they're already making up stories about how these two are connected and so forth, which obviously doesn't sit very well with Jen in the end. But again, that's the tabloids and the news twisting everything. Overall, I thought the episode was great from start to finish. Probably my favorite one so far, even though I had a couple issues here or there. A little bit of the CG was a little wonky, but overall, a very pleasant episode, and I cannot wait to see what happens next.